Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Slateness. My name is Luke and today we are going to be talking about Don Mancini's Chucky movies because there's a new Chucky movie coming out. Unless you've been living under a rock, then you should know that there's a new Chucky movie that's coming out this year. You don't know how to feel about that yet. I don't know how to feel about that because I am a huge fan of the Don Mancini movies. And yeah, one thing that is good about this though, I think that it's great to finally see Chucky back on the big screens because I think the last time that he was on the big screens was in 2004's Seed of Chucky. And after that, he made a cameo appearance in Steven Spielberg's Ready Player One for like a few seconds. And yeah, so now we're getting him back on a full-featured horror movie once again, and I think that is great. However, today we are going to be talking about the Don Mancini movie starting from the 1988 Child's Play movie up until the 2017's Cult of Chucky. This is revisiting Don Mancini's Child's Play franchise. Before we begin, we have to talk about the man himself, Don Mancini, who has helmed all 7 films in the franchise, which not a lot of franchise can say the same thing about because every franchise, if you see, they have different directors coming in the 3rd or 4th movies. Normally the first 2 would be the same guy, then after that it's all different. But in the Child's Play series, it's been the same director from the start, so it's pretty cool. There's only a few. One of them is the classic Scream made by Wes Craven. Don Mancini is the other one. And my personal favorite, the Sharknado movies. If you guys have not seen that, go watch it. What are y'all doing with tornadoes with sharks? Damn fun. The movie basically starts off with Charles Lee Ray. He's a notorious serial killer trying to escape from the police. So he goes into a toy store to hide. And he's also apparently some kind of voodoo guy, and he ends up transferring his soul into the doll. So that means the police thinks that he's dead. So now he's in this body, and there are weird rules to this voodoo thing where once you have this new host, if you don't transfer your soul from that host, you will be stuck in that body. So Chucky doesn't want to be stuck in a doll's body, he wants a human being. So he needs to find a new host within a certain period of time before he gets permanently stuck in that body. So that's the whole Child's Play movie. But if you actually think about it, right, the movie has 7 movies a day from 1988 until 2017. The fella still never found a body yet, right?
Hi, I'm Chucky, and I'm your friend to the end.
The first 3 movies, also known as the Child's Play trilogy, are my personal favorite movies, for they are straight up horror movies. They are not like comedy, they are not what they became eventually. It started out being straight up dark horror movies, and that's what I love about that. So now let's talk about Child's Play 1988. The main character in these movies are Andy Barclay. He's the one that leads Child's Play 1 until 3, and we follow his journey from being a child up until he becomes a teenager. We later see him in Cult of Chucky and Curse of Chucky. He comes in towards the end, like special appearance, but that's later on. So for now, he starts off being this young innocent kid who wants a doll for his birthday, but he doesn't get it at first. So the mom gets a doll from an alleyway from this one very shady looking guy. So she gets this doll for her son, and Andy gets this doll, and this doll happens to be who else? Chucky. So now Chucky's in the house. So according to these voodoo rules, the first person that you reveal yourself to is that person that you should transfer your soul to. So if Chucky meets Andy Barclay and he tells Andy Barclay that he is Chucky, he has to transfer his soul to him. And that's basically what happens in this movie. So Andy Barclay, at first he doesn't know what the doll is doing. The doll is actually going around killing people because that's what he does. It's his hobby. So this whole movie goes on with that same premise. Chucky just goes around killing people while trying to find that body, which is Andy, and Andy trying to also defend his family from Chucky. The movie ends with Andy literally burning Chucky alive. Then we go on to the next movie, which is Child's Play 2, released in 1990. Is set 2 years after the events of the first film, and in this film, Andy is now in a foster home because his mother is sent into a mental institution for blaming a doll for the murders that have happened, because according to the police, a doll cannot kill people. That's what they think. This time, Chucky gets revived by the company that makes these dolls, because they, as a business, they don't want this to look bad for their company. It looks bad on media, for press, because of this one kid claiming that the doll can kill people. It's bad for their market. So they revive Chucky, and now we have him back again in Child's Play 2. And guess who he goes to again? He goes to Andy because he needs the body. It's been 2 years, which means the timeline where from the first movie until now, it's been 2 years and he still hasn't found a body, which means I think this voodoo ritual has like a unlimited timeline. They like wait for you until you find a body, I think, because he keeps on trying. Chucky just goes around doing the same thing again. And this movie basically is the same story all over again. It's the same premise. It's just like a straight up sequel. Same story, same everything. In the end, Chucky dies. Skip over to the worst movie in the franchise, Child's Play 3. Released not even a year after the first movie. It's been like 9 months since Child's Play 2 came out. Child's Play 3 came out in 1991. The movie takes place in a military school, and in that movie's timeline, it takes place 8 years after the events of the second film. In this film, what they are actually trying to do is what they did with Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, Halloween. What they're all trying to do is just trying to put this character into different settings and have it be that. Like Jason X was Jason in space. So this is Chucky in a military school. And the premise, same thing. Nothing new. It's just him going around killing people and Andy trying to fight him off. And then something happened, something weird happened in the shooting of the movie. After it ended, people thought it was over. We thought Child's Play, the whole series was done because there was a long gap in between films. Enter Bride of Chucky, released in 1998, 7 years after Child's Play 3. This is Don Mancini trying to revive Chucky, reintroduce him as a new character into the late 90s. And what he did, I didn't like this because what he did was he took such an iconic villain and turned him into a joke.
Is the little baby ticklish? Is he?
Like, why would you do that, right? Like, among fans, Bride of Chucky and the one after that, Seed of Chucky, was the most hated, for they just switched genres and became like a straight up dark comedy movie with killing elements in it. But it's not horror. Like, nothing is scary. Chucky is played off as a joke. And everything he says are one-liners. He thinks he's Arnold Schwarzenegger or something. It's just all one-liners. Disappointing. Mancini introduced Tiffany in this film, which is Charles Lee Ray's ex-girlfriend. And Chucky, apparently now he can do this. He actually turns Tiffany also into a doll. And in the next movie, 2004, Seed of Chucky, they have a kid. It's a family movie now. I don't understand. Seed of Chucky was released after a 6-year gap from Bride of Chucky. So they're taking these long breaks, and you would think that they're actually reinventing Chucky and all that, but it's not. It's the same shit. It's the same thing that people hated from Bride of Chucky being implemented into Seed of Chucky. And yeah, that's why I think everyone didn't like it, and Don Mancini finally heard the fans. And 2013 came the revival of Chucky back into the horror world with Curse of Chucky, which is my second favorite. My first being the first original, the OG Chucky movie, and this will be my second favorite movie because the story of this is pretty simple. It takes place in one location. The whole movie is in one house with this one family. Chucky comes in and just starts killing people. That's straight up what Chucky does. Because, fun fact, in this movie, there is Brad Dourif, who plays the voice of Chucky from all Chucky films from the first one right up until now. And his daughter is also in this movie playing the lead actress. Really good. Check it out if you haven't, because this movie was not released straight to cinemas. This was a film that was straight to video. And it was when people started looking at Chucky as no longer an A-grade villain, but a B-grade villain, because he was no one's taking him seriously anymore. Everyone thought this movie would be another joke. But it was very nice. And the way towards the end, where they actually tied it into the first movie, really added something to it. That's a really good scene. I like that. And in 2017 was the final installment in the film, Cult of Chucky. And in this, things get a little bit weird. Because for one, the horror elements are still there. It's still a horror movie, very much so. But now Chucky has a new ability. It's like in every movie, he just unlocks a new level. He can do new stuff. Like in the previous movie, he cannot do. So in this movie, what he can do is he can transfer his soul into several bodies at the same time. So there will be 8 different Chuckies going around. That's why it's the Cult of Chucky. And I don't know, it's not bad, but it's a new take. It's better than, Chucky hitting Britney Spears on the truck. So it's better than that. And then in 2019, we heard the news that the whole Child's Play franchise is being rebooted. Yeah, and this time it's without Don Mancini. One thing that looks promising is Mark Hamill, who is the voice of the iconic Joker from Batman, is also the voice of Chucky in this movie. So that should be badass. I'm hoping that would be good. But as a movie, I don't know. I think they're going with a straight up horror route, which will be good. But there's no Charles Lee Ray though. He's now a robot. It's an AI that goes bad. It's like Indian. Right? Think about it, right? If you guys don't know what Indian is, a Tamil movie lah. So that's basically been it. That has been the Don Mancini's Chucky franchise revisited. I hope you guys like this video. It's been a long one this time because there's a lot to cover, and I also didn't cover a lot of things. So if I missed out anything, let me know down below. We can have a conversation. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, follow us on all our social medias at Dark Slate Media, and we'll see you next week. And always remember, you're never alone when watching a horror movie.